Hi everyone and welcome to Poppy DIY Crafts. Today we're going to be making a dragon egg. Or rather, we're going to be making a dragon inside a dragon egg. So I've seen some beautiful works of art on Instagram and I thought it would be really fun to try. So today I have my little dragon mold. This is like a baby dragon all curled up. And I have my egg mold. And what we're going to do is make our dragon, put it inside the egg, and then fill the egg up with resin. And when we're done, we should be able to see the dragon inside the egg. And today we're going to be using two different types of resin. I didn't want to use all epoxy resin because I didn't want to wait 2 days for this to finish. Instead, for the dragon, I'm going to be using this brand new polyurethane resin from Let's Resin. This one cures in 10 minutes. So that means in 10 minutes, we'll have our dragon. And then we can use the regular epoxy resin for the egg. And to color the dragon, I'm going to be using some alcohol ink. So the thing about polyurethane resin is that even though it looks clear right now, once it cures, it's actually opaque white. So that makes it a little bit harder to color. But I found that if you use alcohol ink directly on the mold, the colors are pretty bold. So that's the method I'm going to be using today. And to remove any bubbles, I'm going to be using this vacuum chamber from Resiners. So I did a review of this machine recently, so if you are curious about it, go ahead and check it out. Alright, so let's get our gloves on and get started. I'm going to first uncap the alcohol ink so that we're ready to start using it. And the ratio for the polyurethane is 1:1 ratio by weight or volume. So we're going to be doing this by volume. Once again, we had to work really fast. Here, I'm just going to start dripping the alcohol ink on the dragon. And then we're going to pour the resin in. It's starting to get pretty warm right now. Oh, it's starting to... Oh no, it's starting to set. Okay, so I think this one's a failure because I didn't work fast enough. Alright everyone, so we're going to have to try again because I did not work fast enough. I did not fill the resin to the top of the mold, so we're going to try again. So this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. Okay, so we're going to try again. So there's some staining on the mold because I think I used too much alcohol ink. So this time I'm going to go a little bit slower and I'm going to mix the resin later. So that way I'm not so worried about it setting before I'm ready. Now we're going to mix. Okay, so I think this one's going to work. And the important part is making sure that we don't have any air bubbles in the ears here and the wings. Look, it's starting to cure already. Okay, now we're going to wait 10 minutes for it to fully cure. Alright, it's been 10 minutes and I think it should be good to demold. Okay, so here is our dragon. Here are the two halves. this looks really, really good. Just look. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and just clean off the edges. So now I'm going to glue the two sides together. But before we do that, I'm going to glue this clear string down the middle of it. So that way we'll have something to hang the dragon inside the egg. I'll find where the center is for the dragon. So we're going to be using some Gorilla Super Glue. This is the gel version, so it's a little bit thicker. Let's give it a few minutes to set. And we're also going to color in the eyes. Alright, so our dragon embryo is done. That looks super cool. Next, let's go ahead and mix our 2-part resin. Okay, now we're going to drop in the dragon. Once the dragon is inside, it looks like this. And we're going to carefully pour in the resin. Now I can put the egg in the vacuum chamber. So I'm not sure if it is going to overflow. So on the bottom, I'm actually putting another silicone mold here. Okay, so most of the bubbles came out and we did lose some resin. So what I'm going to do is just top it off with a little bit more resin. And we're going to try to see if we can get our dragon to be balanced. And then we're going to let it sit and cure for a day. Alright, and we are ready to demold. So as you can see, I did get some of the resin leak out. Now that I think about it, I think I should remove the bubbles from the resin before I poured it. But instead I did it afterwards, and so that's why I got a lot of leaking. But if I had done it in the cup, everything would have stayed inside the cup. So that was something that I thought of afterwards. Alright everyone, and here is our egg. Oh my goodness, this egg is so clear. I don't know if you can see this very well, but as you can see, the egg side is absolutely clear. The dragon, however, has a lot of bubbles stuck to it, so I'm not really sure if this was introduced during the pour and we just weren't able to get it out when we degassed it, or if it actually came from the resin itself. So I don't know if this is something that polyurethane resin creates when it's heated up, because the epoxy resin does heat up when it is curing. So I don't know if that did something to the dragon, to the polyurethane, or if this was just bubbles that was stuck on the dragon when I put it in. So that's something I'll still have to experiment a little bit. But as far as the egg goes, it is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. I love how clear it is and just how smooth. The dragon is a little bit tilted inside, so we'll have to figure out another way to make sure that the dragon is upright and straight. So that is something else that we should figure out for next time. But overall, I think this turned out really good. And I love the effect. I love the dragon inside the egg look. Hopefully this gives you some inspiration for your own project. So if you like this video and want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!